all of these ideas are great. They're coming in. So you're like, awesome. I'm so creative. Look at so much stuff. So then I want to do everything.
Actually, we were talking about it. We were to a workshop this past weekend, and we were talking about that process of coming out with new ideas, creating ideas and testing them out in the market. And you just explained it pretty well, right? It's actually very simple. It's about taking action, right? What is the feedback that I'm receiving? What is my own feedback to myself? And then reiterate, right? Like go back, work on that idea again, make it better. And is that cycle. But sometimes, I don't know why, but for us entrepreneurs, sometimes we just get caught up in that shiny object syndrome, right? The SOS. We're like, oh, help, help. And it's just like, let me consume all this information, when the only way to actually help ourselves is to take action.
Yeah.
So on that, there were two things that I really had to, I think with many of us, I'm hoping I'm not completely alone, had to struggle as, I don't know if entrepreneurs, but definitely doing something on your own as a small business owner or just being alone, is all of these ideas are great. They're coming in. So you're like, awesome. I'm so creative. Look at so much stuff. So then I want to do everything. But the reality is, if you didn't set out your goals, that it just like by end of year, in 5 years, I want my company to stand for these 3 items. So every new idea that doesn't meet those 3 items is actually taking time away from you and pushing you further from your goal. Therefore, that's awesome, great. You put it in a list for like, whenever you're bored and you finished and you accomplished everything, let me go back to actually how to create an icon for my website on the tab, like the favicon, something that just like, will that get me closer to having a sponsor on my podcast? Not really. So maybe I should focus on something else.
Yeah.
That was one of the main things. And the other thing, I don't know if it's coming from architecture, perfection. I've learned a lot from TED Talks that, okay, architects are always trying to be perfect, do everything the best way possible, and you're always trying to improve yourself.
Yeah.
And the other one is women. This is a statistic that we don't reach out and we don't say we're done with a task until it's completely fully. So sometimes you could be done with something at 60% and move on to the next step instead of perfecting something, losing time, therefore losing profit. The content is not now profitable because you wasted so much time at it. So a big learning for me was like, not everything doesn't have to be perfect, and be able to stay focused on your main goal. And the other ones are like, nice noise. It's great. I will learn that someday.